Okay, so we're currently 4.5 weeks out. I think it's actually like 33 days until round one. Out here at the track again today, and I've been feeling pretty good up until this point. Starting to get the bike dialed in, starting to gel with the Yamaha a little bit more. I definitely was struggling a bit with the front end, so I knew it was always going to be that trade-off. For me, I love the Honda front end, and I could never get the rear right. And then when I went Yamaha, the rear felt awesome, but the front was a little bit iffy. So I just basically, when I made the decision, it was sort of I couldn't get the Honda rear right, so let's go the Yamaha and just try to figure out the front. And I feel like I've got it pretty good now. I'm starting to feel damn good. Like I had a couple days, like we're at MX Farm right now today. I had a couple days where the track was a bit technical out here, and I just felt like I was on rails, which is really cool. In ruts with the front end, which is again what I've been struggling with on the bike, so that's really cool. So to this point I'm feeling pretty good. I'm still not exactly where I want to be, but the way that our series works is I'm not going to be overly stressed anyway. It's like we got this 4.5 weeks, which is a lot of time to get ready, but if we're not 100% by round one, then we got basically a month between rounds, so we got heaps of time to get sorted. And I almost feel like I needed a little bit in certain aspects, just because this year definitely, like I had a plan of what I was going to do, and I was talking to everyone with sponsors and different things, but it's all just seemed to come together real last minute. I guess everyone's just busy and it's just hard to get on top of stuff. But so today, for example, we announced that like we've teamed up with the guys at Lusty. It's been honestly like a bit of a dream sort of sponsor to team up with those guys, because I had a few mates and then just people I looked up to growing up that were with Lusty and like those brands that associated with, and I always sort of wanted it, and like now to actually have that is pretty awesome. So what we're going to be running from the guys at Lusty this year is Allbeck, Forma boots, we've got TLD helmets, funnel web filters, ODI bars and grips, and Armour Vision. So obviously a big new range of brands that we're going to be working with, which is super cool. So we've got a bunch of new stuff that we're going to try out today. Today is a training day still, so I'm going to get the motos in on top of testing some of this stuff. So yeah, should be a good day just to keep things moving. Like I said, like I've got a seat that's falling apart and everything, but we're trying not to delay stuff. In the past, I've like I sort of got something new and I spend a whole day trying to like show it off and then do whatever, but yeah, we're trying to keep the whole training thing moving at the same time. Okay, so right on top we obviously got the funnel web filters, which there's a bunch of them, which is going to be super handy because, as everyone knows, that's the worst job possible. What else we got here? Some grips. Oh, so another thing with the grips, I spoke to the guys and said I wanted to do some testing. Like I said, we're going to do a test series, so I want to test different grips. So we got here like just a half waffle normal grip. ODI obviously has the lock-ons, so I want to test these versus lock-ons versus like a full waffle. I know in any mud situation, like the full waffle is good, and I've been, even though it's a bit of a fangirl thing, but it's like Adam Airoh and like some of those guys, like they run full waffle now. I don't know why. Maybe it's a little bit extra like softness on your hands. As I'm getting stiffer suspension, like that could be something, but like grips is something I am fairly sensitive with. I've run the same grip for a long time because it's sort of what I've liked. And the ODI, I think this half waffle is going to be what I choose, but anyway, it's just something I've been wanting to test and try to just get every little bit of improvement that I can. Along with the grips, like I got ODI bars, so same thing, I've wanted to test some different ones. I'm always been sort of a low bar guy, but I got the guys to throw in a set of taller bend bars as well, just to try that out, because like in the past I sort of felt like it could be something that holds me back a little bit under braking because my bars are so low. But yeah, we'll do that test series. Yeah, bars and grips from ODI is going to be super helpful with testing there. So another set of bars. We've got 3 different Allbeck bags here. I think one's like a carry-on bag, a backpack, and a gear bag. Anyway, we're sorted with bags. And then looks like boots. Pretty well what we got in there.
Show us. these.
No.
The little things that I get excited about.
Got the white
It's
again.
like a big toe box, like.
Yeah, hopefully your toes won't get squished.
No, it's big.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, yeah.
Has the metal on the front.
Yeah. Good. I can prep the gate better.
So just chucked on the boots and the helmet initially, so had our first little run in them. For the helmet, it's a Troy Lee Designs SE5, so like their carbon top of the range basically helmet, which when you pick it up you can tell like it's light. I was a little bit unsure of how we'd go just because I've come from an Airoh, which if you guys know, it's like that's a really light helmet. This probably feels as light or lighter, just like it's got a small frame, so feels really light on my head, which is awesome because that was one concern I had. And then it's got awesome ventilation. Sounds a little bit funny in my head. That's just, I think I'm just used to a certain way, just when I'm talking, even though that's pretty irrelevant for most people. But yeah, it's light, ventilated. It seems like it hugs my head. Like it almost feels like someone's like holding my head around the outside, which is a little bit different. Goggle view's good. It seems to sit well with the goggles. Yeah, there's not too much else I really have with the helmet. Just yeah, it's a comfortable helmet. A big thing for me, so I've had a ton of concussions back in the day, and like helmet is a big deal to me, so I made sure to check out like the safety features and stuff like that. I've looked at a bunch of different helmets, and this helmet has MIPS and a bunch of like that technology that, you know, they're sort of keeping up with the times. The motocross helmet technology safety stuff is actually pretty damn good now, so yeah, I'm stoked to have that. Like it just more so just a peace of mind thing. I wouldn't really run something unless I felt safe in it, so like I said, this has MIPS, and they're just that little bit extra peace of mind. Boots, they're definitely a bigger transition. Like a helmet I feel like I can sort of throw on, whereas the boots, it's like obviously that's your first point of contact with the bike. So I've got the Former Predator 2.0, which again is like the top of the range Former. Initial feeling is to put the boot on, it's super comfortable. Like it hugs my ankle pretty well. There's plenty of room in the toe box. I've got a pretty fat foot, so that works really well. The feeling on the foot peg is, it feels like the sole's stiff, but I can still feel the peg, which when I first jumped on I was like, oh, that feels stiff, I don't know how it'll go, but when I'm riding around I can feel the bumps, which I think is a good thing. Like I can feel the track as I'm going around. I know where my foot is on the peg while I'm riding. The one little concern and little issue I've got with it is when I ride on the balls of my feet a lot, and when I tuck in on the bike, their little sole, where the sole's stitched on, sticks out a little bit further than my previous boots, and I'm sliding on the foot peg mount, not the actual foot peg itself, the foot peg mount. I'm sort of getting up and I'm sliding on that a little bit, which I don't know if that's really a performance concern. It's just more so of a feeling thing. I feel my foot sliding. It just slides to the peg, but I feel like I can't quite grip my feet in enough. So I might look at potentially trying the Former, I can't remember the name of their other boot. They got another one that's got a bit more of a hugged corner. It's like a hugged foot position. I might be able to get my feet in a little more, or even just shave this one down a little, because it's only that minute little thing, but yeah, for the most part, feels sweet. Ah, it sucks.
You're done now too, you're saying?
Yeah. If that comes, like the track will just be right off, and then it'll write the bike off even more. Come on,
Mud Moto's in the new gear.
Well, it does have what's left of the paddle.
Is it destroyed?
Look at it. Gone. That's what happens if you run a paddle at MX Farm. A baked MX Farm. So we got rained out at Gympie. That's about the 5th week in a row my coaching's been rained out, so that is not real good for me financially, but all good. We got back a little bit earlier so I can get a bit done. I rode with my paddle on some hard pack tracks, so this thing is absolutely smoked. I've got to put a freshie on, so quickly do that, and I've got to run this afternoon. So I'm going to quickly, me and Lane were actually talking about tyre changes on the way home, and I'm saying that it used to take me about an hour. Now I've got a lot better, but I may as well make a little competition just so it's not quite so boring. I'm going to see how quick I can actually do it off the bike, back on the bike again, because I need to do it fast anyway. All right, let's go. Alright, 23 minutes, done, fresh Maxxis, let's go. Alright, fresh tyres on, bikes are loaded, just gonna quickly jump in the ice bath to freshen up a little bit, and then quick run to finish off the day. Bring the GoPro along with me for today's run. As you can see, it's raining, I'm sweating a lot. I'm not sure if you can see because it's dark, but wanted to touch on a little bit more of my off-bike training for this year and my goals and what sort of I've been doing with it all. So when I was looking at myself and my performance and what I need to get better at from last year, one of the things is I'm always constantly, strength is a thing I'm just always gonna have to work on because I'm a small guy. So Emil and I have been slowly building my strength, and that is progressively getting better every single year. So we've got a good thing going there. I don't really need to change anything, reinvent the wheel. However, I'm someone that at the end of the motos, I do pick guys off and I stay strong to the end, and it, from the outside, looks like I'm really fit. And I'm not scared to suffer through the end of the motos, but I think just in yourself, you know yourself better than anyone else, and I know that I don't believe I'm that fit. Like, my cardio fitness is not there, my cardiovascular. I don't have a cardiovascular base of these guys that I'm trying to beat and trying to match. So, still awkward trying to talk in front of people when I'm running and stuff. Yeah, I don't have that cardiovascular base that I know I need to have to compete at the level I want to. I've had a dodgy hip for, I don't know, since I was 15, and I've had a couple surgeries. Essentially what it does to me, the issue with it is I don't have much hip flexion. If I put myself in hip flexion, my hip swells up and I'm pretty useless. My range of motion just goes to shit. So I haven't been able to do any cycling, which essentially is what majority of the motocrossers do for their cardio base. And I just haven't had that part of my program. Yeah, I haven't had that part of my program for a long time. And as I said, I do push to the end of the motos, but as I'm starting to get stronger and feel better on the bike, I'm reaching a new speed level in sprint laps and stuff like that, but I know that I'm not able to maintain that throughout the moto. And to me, that's what the other guys are doing that I'm not. Like, there's other things, but that's one that I can obviously see.
So I want to be able to push that sprint pace that I've got throughout the motor. My body needs to be more efficient to do that. All this to say, my cardio base needs to be better. So I've started running, and I found even though running, a lot of people think running more impact, worse for your joints. For me personally, running is so much easier on my hip. I'm able to do it, I can do it consistently. I can wake up tomorrow and go train again. I can go ride, I can do everything I need to do. So, started running. For me, like I said, I don't have much of a base. I'm doing 2 1-hour runs per week, slowly trying to build on that. I'm trying to do the same route as much as I can, so that I can look at the data and see black and white, am I getting better? And what that's done for me actually is shown me something pretty cool, just like unexpected, not what I was trying to chase, but just the lifestyle factors that are involved with training that just shows me I need to be a lot better at. For example, for me, that 1-hour run looks like about a 6-minute 10 pace, 6-minute 10 kilometer pace at around a 150, 155 heart rate. But today I'm up to kilometer 9 and I am running extremely slow and really struggling to keep my heart rate under 160. Simply not because I've got less fit, but because my lifestyle factors have been turned to shit. So I've been pretty busy lately trying to figure out a lot of stuff, and today, well, last night I got about 5 hours sleep, got up early, drove to the track, did some riding, did some coaching, got rained out, so had to go to a different location, do some coaching, and then got back here, had to change a tire and go for a run. I've eaten 2 servo sandwiches today, which is just obviously shit diet. It's going to lead to shit performance, and it's actually pissing me off a little bit just talking about it, how dumb that seems, but it is a good thing in the way of how easy it is to track progress doing the same route, doing the same workout again and again, because the factors of the workout are the same. So the only thing that's different is I'm hungry right now. I slept like shit. I didn't sleep much, and you can see the downfall in performance. So obviously this run right now, it's not for a competition, it's just to get fitter. But when I'm racing, if I have these same things going on and I'm getting shit sleep and I'm eating shit, I'm going to perform shit. So anyway, I just had that sort of on my chest. I just wanted to talk to you about that, let you know a little bit about what I've been doing, what's been going on with my training, and hold myself accountable a bit more, because yeah, not happy with what I've been doing off the bike at the moment. Like, I'm doing all the training, but it just goes to show, unless you're willing to put in the work around that, sleep, nutrition, all the other lifestyle factors, it means stuff all. So I want to be better. I'm gonna be better. I'm holding myself accountable. So anyway, nearly home now. It's about 10 k's. Gonna eat a heap tonight, try to get to bed early, and perform better tomorrow. Let's go. So in an effort to keep my training consistent, I'm actually at the moment going to the Run Company, which is just some place I found to get better running shoes and fit me up. So we're going to go check the place out. It would be, I've thought about it plenty of times, like the work that you put in versus what you get out.
It could just go, yeah, that's exactly what it would came down to, eh?
Yeah.
You want to land like that, so like when you take the shoe away, we want to be protecting the heel.
On my toe, yeah.
Yeah,
I noticed that as soon as I started
yeah,
running, yeah.
and that's naturally what should actually happen. So that's where the foot should land from a bare foot, and we're going to watch it roll in. So that movement through there, you imagine like a little bit of suspension. That's the foot naturally absorbing a bit of shock, and the term for that is pronation.
Yeah.
So it's a good thing, but we kind of want to understand how much it's occurring. Everyone does it in different degrees.
Okay.
So the way the wall's laid out is as you go from right to left,
Yeah.
the more you pronate, the further left you go on the wall.
Okay.
We think about it kind of like in a continuum, but the shoes also provide pronation control in different spots.
Yeah, cool.
At the moment, the left side looks pretty stable. So you can see here the heel itself is in a neutral position, and like down through your Achilles, we're not seeing any excessive bending.
Yeah.
You can also look at like what your medial malleolus is doing and whether it's excessively pulling in, which it's not. So from my end, left side's fairly stable.
Yeah.
They used to be like this because it was a quicker shoe. So
Yeah.
these shoes used to really quickly go from the rear to the forefoot because of that. Like the
Yeah.
transition period was really quick. But now they've been able to make the shoes more stable, but the foam's changed a lot and they feel nicer and much more cushioned.
Yeah, cool.
But definitely not at the expense of speed or anything like that. So
Yeah.
for you, like
For me, speed doesn't mean
anything. Yeah, you
Like
want
zero.
you want to be in a shoe that like provides the right support and impact protection, but also like injury resistance.
Yeah.
So this shoe is going to feel really different, man. Like it's
Yeah,
a
it
bit
does.
higher off the ground. So at the moment, kind of what's happening in the shoe world is like everything's going. Dude, do you mind if I tie that up?
Yeah, you go for it.
I reckon you might be doing it up a fraction tight.
Okay.
So with running shoes, because we're not doing like lateral movement or anything, we don't need the shoe to be as tight in the foot, and we kind of want to be able to let the foot naturally move a little bit more.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that. In terms of striking pattern, heel strike.
Yeah, right. Way different.
Forefoot strike. So it's still not doing the best job possible from like a stability perspective. You can still see it compressing a bit medially.
Quick test of the shoes. Pretty cool actually. I'm always into the data of stuff, so it's cool to be able to do this. Not that I have a whole lot of reference with shoes, but they feel good.